On the night and morning of March 9th, Russia carried out another large-scale shelling of many cities in Ukraine. Since Russia is unable to achieve its goals on the battlefield, they are terrorizing Ukrainian civilians by directing their missiles at critical infrastructure and residential buildings. Russia continues to violate the norms of international humanitarian law, continuing to strike, carry out artillery and missile strikes on civilian objects and homes of the civilian population. As before, the Russian Federation is trying to destroy the critical infrastructure of Ukraine. This night, the Russians fired 81 missiles at critical infrastructure targets in Ukraine, according to Valery Zaluzhny. In total, there were 28 launches of air-launched Kh-101 Kh-555 cruise missiles, 20 launches of sea-based caliber cruise missiles, 6 launches of air-launched X-22 cruise missiles, 6 launches of air-launched Kh-47 Dagger cruise missiles, 8 launches of guided aviation missiles, 2 Kh-31P, 6 X-59, 13 launches of guided S-300 anti-aircraft missiles. In addition, 8 strikes were carried out by the Shahed-136-131 strike drones. Ukrainian defenders destroyed 34 of the 48 Kh-101 Kh-555 cruise missiles and caliber cruise missiles, as well as 4 Shahed-136-131 drones. There are wounded in Kiev as a result of hits. The hits were in several districts of the capital. 15% of the city of Kiev was left without electricity, and half of it is practically without heat supply. There were also hits on energy infrastructure targets. Operational information from the Kiev City Military Administration. Chief Sergei Popko reports that around 7:30 there was a repeated airstrike on the capital, hitting infrastructure objects in different parts of the city. 2 people were injured by rocket debris and several cars were damaged. The Kiev City Military Administration also reported the launch of a supersonic Dagger missile from Russia. The air alarm in the capital lasted almost 7 hours, starting around 1 a.m., and during that time the Russians released almost all types of their air weapons, from the Shahed drone to practically all types of cruise missiles. Thanks to the work of the Ukrainian air defense, strikes by cruise missiles and drones on the capital were prevented. But unfortunately, a ballistic missile of the Dagger type hit an infrastructure object. All services are working to eliminate the consequences. Emergency power outages in the capital continue. In the Lviv region, as a result of the Russian attack on the western regions, a missile fell in a residential area in the Zalokiv district. At the moment, 5 people are known to have died. These are 5 adults who were at home at the time of the missile strike. The debris is still being cleared, and there may be other people underneath. The fire destroyed 3 residential buildings, 3 cars, a garage, and several outbuildings. This cowardly attack in the middle of the night, when people may not hear the air alarm signal or the signal on their smartphone, is hitting Ukrainians' heads, not just infrastructure or military targets. This is an absolute meanness on the part of the Russians, which they have been trying to apply for many months but have not yet succeeded. The head of the Odessa Regional State Administration, Maxim Marchenko, writes, "As a result of a massive missile strike, there are hits on critical infrastructure objects, as well as damage to residential buildings. Currently, there are power outages in the region, and it is reported that many regions are currently without electricity." Marchenko also reported that missiles have been shot down in the Odessa region. Air defense units destroyed some of the missiles, but the number is not yet known as they are still being counted. In the Mykolaiv region, the Operational Command South reported that 9 missiles of different types were destroyed by anti-aircraft defense units over the Mykolaiv region. It is also reported that in Kherson, Russian military personnel fired at a public transport stop where people were present. Missile fragments hit a store, where a woman was killed. There were also missile attacks in the Kharkiv region, and a video shows the aftermath of a missile explosion. As a result of the shelling in Ukraine, 3 thermal power plants were damaged during a night of massive missile attacks, and there is serious equipment damage. Also, the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant has been completely cut off from power due to Russian shelling, according to Energoatom. The station is currently without power and has entered its 6th blackout since the occupation began. The 5th and 6th energy blocks are being cooled down. and 18 diesel generators have been activated to supply the plant's own needs. There is enough fuel to power the generators for the next 10 days, according to the company's statement. Most experts tend to believe that such strikes are more necessary for the internal audience of Russia. Strikes on Ukraine's power systems have been ongoing since September 2022 and have not yielded significant results. Hundreds of millions of dollars are spent on shelling, and Ukrainians restore the power supply in a matter of weeks. Since Putin has long had no clear progress on the front, he needs to show some kind of success for his citizens, even if it is terrorist attacks on civilians. This is all for today. You can support our Ukrainian team by subscribing or using YouTube's Super Thanks button. And don't forget, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. We'll be back with more updates and information. Thanks for watching.